We're going to go ahead and get started with, I think, the funniest thing I saw this week, because the Catholic League, which is a right wing Catholic group that's not actually connected to the Vatican, but totally pretends to be, they just put up a billboard in Madison, Wisconsin. And Madison, Wisconsin happens to be the headquarters of the Freedom from Religion Foundation. And that's why they put up their billboard in Madison, Wisconsin. And the new billboard wishes everyone a warm, festive holiday season. Yeah, I'm absolutely kidding. They did not do that at all. This is the billboard they put up in Madison. Graphic design is their passion. Let's read through this together because there's a lot going on here. Um, First thing there says atheists strike out at Christmas. Okay, I didn't know there was a game going on, but all right, fine. Weird to use a baseball metaphor in December, which is when everyone's thinking about baseball. All right. Celebrating winter solstice is a child's game. Again, didn't know it was a game. Didn't actually know we were really celebrating the solstice, but whatever. Why is that a child's game? Does that mean it's easy to celebrate solstice but hard to celebrate Christmas? Because that doesn't make any sense, because Christmas stuff is all around everybody. So if anything, it's very easy to play Christmas and very hard to play literally anything else. Anyone else's holidays, much more difficult this time of year. But then comes the best line of them all. This is our season, not yours, which is just so petty and pointless. But what, again, who decided to claim this season as like atheists? I don't get it. This is our season, not yours. What does that mean? Do the Catholics own the holiday? Do they own December 25th? Do they own the entire winter? I don't know what they're getting at. Even if you take them at face value, like, what do they actually mean? Well, they mean the holiday season. What does that mean? It's ours. Like, what? No one else is allowed to celebrate anything? Jewish people are out of luck this time of year because Hanukkah was trying to get in on all the Christmas fun. Like, it's such a stupid thing to say. But if you actually think about it, it doesn't even make any sense. I'm going to come back to the sign in a second. But the thing they're pretty much responding to is this sign that the Freedom from Religion Foundation has put up for years in the Wisconsin State Capitol building and in some cities around the country. But basically, whenever there's a nativity scene on public grounds, FFRF has tried to put up a display too. The Satanic Temple has done a lot of that in recent years as well. Basically saying, all right, if you want to put up a nativity scene, well, it's an open forum. So we're going to try to put up our sign as well. And we're going to be in your face about it too. And in this case, the FFRF sign says, at this season of the winter solstice, let reason prevail. And then they go hard in explaining, hey, we're atheists. There are no gods, no devils, no angels, no heaven or hell. There is only our natural world. Religion is but myth and superstition that hardens hearts and enslaves minds. And look, is it in your face? Yes, it is. But they're basically saying, hey, it's the winter solstice. Let reason prevail. And also, we have beliefs too. If you don't like the aggressiveness of that sign, well, what do you think the nativity is? It's just another way of telling people this is what we believe. All the rest of you who don't accept the baby Jesus are going to burn in hell for all eternity. I would argue that's just as aggressive, if not more so, because at least this sign isn't sentencing anyone to eternal torture. But going back to the ugly billboard that the Catholic League put up, so they're saying celebrating winter solstice is a child's game. Again, it's a stupid thing to say because FFRF did not say accept winter solstice or else. But anyway, this is our season, not yours. Celebrate the birth of Christ. I don't know how to take that. Is that a threat? Is there a period after that? Is there an exclamation point? Like, the lack of punctuation makes it very hard to parse. And then Merry Christmas, paid for by the Catholic League. Okay, Fine. Weird. I want to show you another thing they issued with this. They put out a press release, and this is the press release that the Catholic League put out about this, courtesy of their leader, Bill Donohue. Every year, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, a group of Christian hating atheists, likes to erect a silly winter solstice exhibit at the Capitol in Madison, Wisconsin. Well, this year they're in for a surprise. We've decided to send these activists a lesson, reminding them that the Christmas season is our season. We rule, they lose. Apparently, a 12-year-old edgelord is the copywriter for all of their press releases. What the hell is this? We rule, they lose. Bill Donohue is like an 80-year-old man. It's just the dumbest group of people. And this is exactly the way they operate too. It's always it's us versus the world because we're Catholics and we're persecuted. Like, my dude, you own the Vatican. Your people as a religion are among the wealthiest, maybe the wealthiest group out there. And no one is anti Catholic, not about Christmas. No one's anti Christian. FFRF is not a group of Christian hating atheists. They work with Christian groups on their lawsuits sometimes. They're basically atheists who say, well, if Christians have access to this space, we're going to try to use the space as well. And if you're persecuting actual persecution against non-Christians, yeah, we're going to write you letters and tell you why you got the law wrong. I don't know. I don't see that as Christian hating, but Bill Donohue and the Catholic League thinks everything is persecution. You know how there's that group 1 Million Moms that's like one angry evangelical white woman, and she just says like, I saw gay people on TV. Let's shut down this show. That's what Bill Donohue is. And anytime anyone in the public eye says anything critical of the Pope, rightly critical, if they are like, well, the Catholic Church settled a sexual abuse lawsuit, he's like, how dare you persecute Catholics? That's what this guy is. I'll tell you more about him in a second. But like, think about what they're doing over the holidays. They're saying, we don't like FFRF sign, so we put in a billboard because we rule and they lose, which again, like I said, very petty, very childish. Think about how much better it would have been, in theory, if he put up the billboard that said, the Catholic League just made a multi-$1,000 donation to a local food pantry in Madison, Wisconsin. You know, so while the atheist groups are putting up signs and billboards, we're actually helping the hungry. Now, mind you, atheist groups, including FFRF, have given to charity. That's not my point. But like, if they put up a billboard that said, we're helping the needy, and they're putting up billboards, that might have actually been pretty effective. But they don't care about helping the poor. This is what Jesus means to guys like Bill Donohue and the people who are petty enough to work under him. Jesus is nothing more to them than a weapon to use against everyone else while you are defending the Catholic Church against allegations of wealth hoarding and all the child abuse and sex scandals. Like, helping other people, that's for losers. Dunking on atheists with the advertising equivalent of an ugly Christmas sweater, that is somehow a victory because, again, as I was told, they rule and we lose. And then Bill Donohue spoke to the Christian Post about this, trying to defend his stupid little stunt here. Look at what he told the Christian Post. Donohue told CP that he hopes our billboard emboldens Catholics, letting them know that we will not be bullied by our adversaries. First of all, it's not going to embolden anybody, much less Catholics, because no one driving past the stupid billboard is going to have time to read the whole thing. Also, it's very ugly. Also, who's bullying you? Again, imagine how pathetic you have to be to say, it is Christmas. Every TV show, everything around us celebrates the birth of Christ. And some people have the audacity to say, hey, you know, we're also here. There are people who don't believe in any of that who also exist this time of year because you don't own December or winter. And Bill Donohue's like, what? You're pretending you exist in the holiday season? That's persecution against us. Who's bullying Catholics? I don't get it. That's how bad this guy is, though. So, anyway, how did the Freedom from Religion Foundation respond? Because this billboard was clearly aimed against them. Here's what FFRF said on the internet. They quoted the billboard, which, by the way, look at how their website is formatted. You can't even read the ugly billboard on the Catholic League's website, even when linked to. But anyway, FFRF says the Scrooges at the Catholic League really know how to spread love and joy during the holiday season. Happy holidays. Basically an eye roll against what the Catholic League just did. I mean, is it really a war on Christmas when one side is throwing weak punches and the other side is yawning? I don't know. If you're not familiar with the Catholic League, though, I want to show you one thing, just so you understand. Like, not only is the billboard ugly, I want you to know more about the group that decided to put this up. I'm going to show you every year, rather, all nonprofit groups have to fill out a tax form for the IRS that says this is how much money we took in. This is where our money is going. It's a form of transparency because if you're a nonprofit and you're not paying taxes, well, you should tell people where the money is going. That's the compromise, right? Let me show you the Catholic League's 990. That's the form we're talking about from 2023. And I want to do this for a reason. But check this out. Here is their 990 for the Catholic League. And I want to zoom in on one thing here. Look at how much money they have. Look at this. It doesn't matter. End of the year. How much money do they have? Look at that bottom number. $53.7 million. They are sitting, the Catholic League, on $53.7 million. And yet they won't spend what? A few $100s to hire a graphic designer with any talent? They're not using that money for charity. They're not doing anything useful with it. They're paying for a stupid billboard to fight a war that only they are fighting. All that money, nothing valuable coming from it whatsoever. Another thing you should also see is how much money does Bill Donohue get paid? Well, guess what? We could find that out too, because in the 990, if you scroll down, there's Bill Donohue. He is the president. He works whatever hours a week. How much does he get paid? Look at this. He gets paid $653,000, and he gets an additional $72,500 for other compensation. So this guy's making nearly $750,000 a year to do what he does, which is put out press releases anytime anyone's critical of the church. Which, by the way, I've seen him issue press releases after Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update does a joke about Catholic predators. And he's like, this is discrimination against atheists. Someone hand me some dollar bills so I can blow my nose. I don't know. Even their vice president's making, like, what is that? Almost $400,000. Like, this is an organization that has so much money and no ability to do anything of value with it. That's how you know this is a grift. FFRF, by the way, that an organization that I think has maybe twice as many staffers as the Catholic League, they have net assets that are less than half of the Catholic League. And you know how much work they're putting out there. I don't understand how bad. It's amazing how bad the Catholic League is at doing just about anything. I realize the purpose of the billboard that they just put up in Madison is to get publicity, and me talking about it at all, I know, is giving them what they want. But maybe this backfires. Because after all, if they need a billboard to trash atheists at Christmas, it kind of tells you like who these people are and how few concerns they actually have. I mean, Donohue has been able to weaponize faith-based outrage for decades now with the help of a professional-sounding organization in a way he never could if he was just some angry dude who blogged out of a basement. right? That's why you should never take the Catholic League seriously. It's just one dude pretending who runs an organization pretending to represent Catholics across America, even though he only represents like the extreme right wing Catholics out there, which is not even the majority of US Catholics. He has no actual ties to the Vatican or anything like that. Like I said, it's very much like 1 Million Moms, which is one angry Christian woman who just issues press releases from her basement, basically. Donohue uses the Catholic League to sound more important than he really is. And any reporters you see who cite the Catholic League without acknowledging that it's just one angry rich dude who just picks fights with everybody while pretending to represent the Catholic wing of the church. If you don't say that, you are committing journalistic malpractice. You have to acknowledge this is just one dude with a lot of money who just pretends to represent the entire religion. Anyway, stupid billboard put up there by a bunch of people who have too much money to do anything useful with it. All right, I'll stop there. What questions do we have here before I move on to the next story? Oh, thanks for that donation, Dusty Dark Horse. Christians just wish they were still in their high school. Well, apparently, and that's who they hire to do all their copywriting, apparently. Right? They just go to a local high school, say, hello, we're Catholics. Will you write some angry response for us? And we'll put it on a billboard. And then that's how they do it, I assume. The billboard designer is also their webmaster from 1996. I know you're joking, but you're not really joking, because if you go to the Catholic League's website, you can tell it has not been updated since someone put it up online decades ago. Again, so much money, can't hire a web designer, can't hire someone to make you look like a professional organization, because Bill Donohue, I assume, just hoards all the money for himself. Like the solstice wasn't celebrated by pagans for thousands of years until the Christians co-opted the solar deity model for Jesus. This is another point. It's our season, not yours. It's not even your season. You're right. Like, you took it from other people to begin with. Unbelievable. Wait, why is our exhibit silly when theirs is not? Yeah, it's a good question. If you think that what FFRF's... Yeah, by the way, that poster of theirs has been around for like 30 years. I don't know why that one's silly, but writing something petty in the same type of font and everything on a billboard is not. Personally, I'm not a fan of either billboard, really, because it doesn't have the impact it might have had once. The atheist one, I should say. But if there's a nativity scene up, I'm all for groups putting anything up. You know what I mean? Just show people there are other groups in town. But you're right. Why is one bad, but theirs is not? Why is one silly, but not theirs? I think this is what happens when you have so much money. You have no one around you willing to tell you, maybe this is a bad idea and you should rethink it. Most people celebrating Christmas in the USA are not that religious. Most get caught up in consumerism. I think you're right. I mean, I don't know about most, but I think you're right. A lot of people in the US, it's fun this time of year. I have a tree up. I'm doing presents. I'm doing stuff on Christmas. It has nothing to do with Jesus, but that's the whole point. Like, plenty of people are fine with Christmas. It doesn't have to be a religious thing for anybody. So what are they so mad about? Even then, Christians could take credit for that. They can just say, glad you're celebrating it. Maybe now you could let me tell you about Jesus. That's what they do all the other times. And the Catholic League is like, how dare you other people exist?